Hello, people. Welcome to Hello, everyone. Welcome to the trip. Right? Yeah, that is the name. Had to make sure I got the name right. I
trip or road trip.
am
You don't have much of a choice.
DWTT. Gary to some. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing so here, so
Doing so.
I'm here, so can't complain
Cool.
too much.
Cool. And I saw him before the intro was gone, but he's gone. But we'll welcome Spencer when he comes back. He was here just before the show. I was saying to Tony, you guys like the show right after the show starts, but I said that. Meanwhile, Tony had showed up before, but and Spencer showed up just while the credits were coming up. So there we go. So how to come up with
What time did you send the link out, Gary?
I gave you 5 minutes. You're supposed to be ready to go 5 minutes, so yeah, there you go. So, got Brenny in the house. For those who didn't, I was on the Brenny show earlier today, talking, about the last game, talking about the next game. So, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Thanks for joining Brenny. He's probably getting ready to go to sleep. It is 12:30 where he's from. But yeah, where most of our friends are from. But we're here anyways. We're gonna start chatting. So I probably talked about this game, so I don't know. I'll get your thoughts on it. But yes, Arsenal once again had another opportunity to extend their lead atop the table by 3 points if they get the win. And they weren't able to do it once again. 0-0 draw once again. We've had more than we shouldn't have any, but we've had more than I've thought. But before we get going into the game, let's say hi to Spencer. Spencer, how you doing?
Fantastic. I'm doing excellent.
As you can see, this guy's he's in NFL mode. It looks like his backdrop there.
Absolutely in NFL mode. Excited.
He's happy for some reason. I don't know, and I don't care.
That's fine. I'll be happy alone.
His Denver Broncos are doing well.
Yes, they are. Well,
one step away from a Super Bowl appearance, which is
broken ankle, maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, you're one game away, regardless of a broken ankle.
Yep. Believe in Stidham, man. I believe in Jarrett. So let's go do it.
You can win with defense. We've seen it.
Oh, absolutely, we have.
So maybe it's time for your defense to show up because I don't think they showed up.
Yeah, both teams are defensive. So
hold on, 5 turnovers on Sunday. I think was a pretty good day at the office.
Yeah. What was the score?
Don't matter, 33-30, but 5 turnovers.
What was the score? You get 5 turnovers and you still give up 30 points? Come on, dude.
One more point.
No, one more point's good, but you can't tell me you had good defense.
Absolutely a good defense.
You give up 30 points. Think about if they did throw the 5 interceptions, my man.
Hey, that's the city of Buffalo for you. Nothing but a bunch of losers.
They kept it even for you. They said, we're going to spot you 5 interceptions, and then
it's in their DNA, Gary. It's in the DNA of Buffalo to be a bunch of losers. It's in their DNA.
Hey, yeah, we got everybody. Is not surprised.
Yeah.
Good thing they got a defensive coach in there. Good thing they had a defensive coach in there. But
he got fired. So
yeah, a lot of people are going to get fired after something like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that off for everybody.
Can't
That's
really
fun.
say it's his fault that his quarterback those 5 picks. So, but
Oh, it was
that's
actually I think 2 picks, 3 fumbles.
well, there you go. 5 turnovers from your offense is not good when you're a
Yeah.
defensive coach. Ball security is probably one of the key things they talk about. So we're going to talk about we can talk a little bit about it. Arsenal travel to Nottingham Forest with a chance to extend their lead atop the table to 9. They were only able to extend it to 7, but they did extend it, and they were able to hold on to that 7 point gap when Everton didn't give beat essentially the Villa. So Tony,
Yes.
point gained or 2 dropped?
Two dropped, and I was looking at ESPN, like looking at the games this weekend, and clicked it on Aston Villa and Everton, and it showed the last 5 games, and Villa had only won one of the last 5 games, so that gave me some hope they would drop points. They dropped all 3, so we're lucky, but 7 points in January doesn't do you much good. We had a 7 point lead at this point in April 3 years ago, and we still lost it. So, and never secure, like you say, every match matters, and you shouldn't be going to Forest and not picking up the points. But we'll break it down and share our thoughts later. But definitely not good enough on the performance.
Very true.
And the lineup wrong.
Yep. Spencer?
Loaded question. So originally Saturday, I was like, yeah, it's points dropped. And then Villa, being Villa, technically we gained a point on everybody. But you're going to Nottingham Forest. You should win there. You should. I mean, and again, they had opportunities in the game, didn't take them. But you're still up, right? Like if everything was to work out the way it was supposed to, you would have picked up 3 points. City would have picked up 3 points. It would have been 6 points clear. But City dropped, and then you picked up a point. Should you have picked up all the points? Yeah, but you didn't. So you've gained another point on everybody. And let's be real, Villa's not a real title contender at all. So it's really you and Man City. So you've got basically 2 wins and a draw against them that you're allowed to drop. You've got what? 22 games. I think it's 48 points left. It means the max you can get is 98. The max they can get is 91. Do you think City's not going to drop more points? I think they're going to keep dropping points. Is Arsenal going to drop more points? Absolutely. Unless they figure out their shooting boots. But defensively, look what you got back in the Premier League, and I'm going to be Mr. Positive here, and I don't care if anybody likes it or not, but you went 2 straight games, no shots on target from Liverpool and from Forest. So that's kind of, remember that thing that we did in October where everybody's like, oh, Arsenal's going to shot on target. Well, that's now back. But again, Martinelli, dude, like how? But either way, I guess like Saturday, my feeling was points dropped. Today, I feel okay about it. Look, it's the next game up. Obviously I'm buzzing because of another sport, so I'm kind of looking at it from that perspective as well. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You don't drop points going away to 17th place. You just don't. Like that's a fact. Like that's unacceptable. That's how we've lost titles in the past. The saving grace is everybody else keeps dropping points. You had Liverpool. They dropped to Burnley. I believe that was at home too. So that's embarrassing. Is United newly refreshed because of Carrick, or I don't know. I think there's more to follow on that. But again, the people you're competing with drop, so you gain something. It's not ideal. You wanted to be 9 points clear. I mean, I want to be 15, 20 points clear right now. but we're not. So I'll feel absolutely different about this next week if we drop to United. That's obviously forecasting, but that's how I feel about it. So, max we can get is 98 points. So they're gonna have to get their shooting boots together, man. I don't know. I mean, he rotated inside Saturday, and I was okay with the rotation, but it's just, I know we're gonna get into this, but do you change it up with Victor and you put Havertz out there to start a game? I don't know. And you bring Victor on later?
Yep. We'll get into that. Let me say hello to a couple people. Well, say hello to the last person to join us. We got Big Gunner in the house. He said he didn't get a notification. I am sorry. I don't control. That's a YouTube thing. So glad you're here. He says greetings to everyone. Greetings to you, sir. We got Alt the 777. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show. We haven't had a functioning attack in 18 months. Arteta needs to change the system. Yeah. Personally, I think our attack it's not been really functioning as well as it could have been for a while. I mean, maybe since he won an
Since
FA
he's
Cup.
been there, I would say, but
When we won an FA Cup, we had a somewhat functioning attack. Of course, we had a legit score striker forward in Aubameyang, so that kind of helped.
then we had a back three, Gary.
Yeah. Well, we'll get that's something else. We've got welcome him to the show. We've got Ben. Ben, welcome to the show. He says, "Hola, hola, hola to you, sir." Yep. Let's see. Last season, not one of our players crossed 10 goals. That is true. And this season, in all comps, we could have actually 6 to 7 players with 10 plus goals, right? I mean, when I look at the stats and I kind of keep them up here right now in terms of goals in all competitions right now, Gabriel's got 9. We've got Victor Gyökeres with 8. You got Saka and Trossard with 7. I mean, potentially you've got at least 4 players there that could hit 10 goal mark. So in all comps, of course, but in the league, I don't know. Might just be by committee. But yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, no, this should have been a game once again, another game we should have gotten the points. We played, we struggled against Forest. We didn't score a goal against them, even though the scoreline said we did. This one, we missed opportunities. Saka, but started with Martinelli. Saka had a header. That was a really nice header, which goalkeeper got a fingertip to. Moreno had a header that you would expect him to be able to finish. Gyökeres had an opportunity that went by the wayside, didn't even get the shot off. So we had opportunities in this game, and once again, we weren't able to do it. I think we had 15 shots, but I kind of feel if we don't get to that 20 shot mark, then we're going to be struggling because we're not clinical. So,
was that 3 on target, Gary?
We had more than 3. We had oh, you're right. We had 3 on target. Sorry. Thought it was a bigger number, but 3 on target. Yeah. And that's probably Martin Lees wasn't on target. That was definitely the 2 headers and maybe the 3 headers I think we might have had in that game. I don't think we put our foot through a ball that actually tested a goalkeeper. At least 2 of them didn't.
The header from Saka was pretty good.
No, it was a good header. Just didn't have enough power on it to get to the corner. But he put it in the right position.
That goalkeeper covered so much space on that dive.
Yeah.
I mean,
because if Saka gets any power on that at all, it's in the back of the net. But it's still a great play by the goalkeeper. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's wild, right? As I'm looking at the recent matches, scored 3 against Bournemouth, then went nothing against Liverpool, 4 against Portsmouth, 3 against Chelsea, and then nothing against Forest. So, goals are there. It's just not consistent. So, even look at the Brighton game, scored 2 in that, scored 4 against Villa, scored 1 in the League Cup. We missed a lot in that. Scored 1 against Everton, 2 against Wolves. I think this is legitimately outside of the Liverpool game. This is the first time all year where we've seen this rear its ugly head. Now we've seen the lack of clinicalness all year, right? Where some of these games could be put away a lot quicker. So I don't know what to make of this, because you've got the anomaly of 3 goals against Bournemouth, Liverpool nothing. That's 5 days later, January 3rd to January 8th. 3 days later, Portsmouth. Now, granted, championship club, whatever, who cares? 4 goals. And then you played 3 days later against, I guess, 5th in the league. I think Chelsea's 5th right now, maybe 4th. You scored 3 goals against them, and then 17th in the league, and you scored nothing. I don't know what to say of it. I don't really completely agree with the systemic issue with the whole club in general. He rotated on Saturday, right? I almost feel like that should have been a stronger squad than that. My only argument, I don't think tomorrow in the Champions League matters as much.
Yeah, we said that the last time, but it did matter to Arteta. So
yeah,
we said going into the Chelsea match. The Chelsea match is probably more important than the Bayern Munich match. And nope, it wasn't. It wasn't. We put a lot of eggs into the Bayern Munich game, got into the Chelsea game, and we're given a lifeline, and we still didn't. We didn't grab for it. We didn't. They go down a man and go down one of their best defensive players, and we still can't get anything out of the game in terms of not being able to get the win. I mean, go behind in that one. So I think it's a little bit of mentality there in terms of how we go into some of these games. It's probably the mentality a lot of people have said where we lack. We have to essentially. It seems, at least the way the team has reacted, they react really well to poor performances as opposed to maintaining good good performances. You know what I mean? Like we always seem to have these dips after a while. Yeah. And then we respond. So once again, we're gonna have to respond again because this is a big game.
Yeah.
City. We've I think if I recall. No. Yeah. This is yeah. If they beat City, so this is a big game in a sense that what. We can't let them go on a two-game winning streak, right? So, Manchester United actually is in 5th right now.
Yep.
If they were to win, I mean, and they go from 15 to 12 back, which is still a long way to go. I don't think they're going to catch us, but gives them incentive, gives them something to play for.
Yeah.
But City and Villa, City plays Wolves.
Yeah.
I think we're all expecting that to be at least a win for City, and Newcastle will be playing. Villa is playing Newcastle, so we don't know which Newcastle you're going to get. So,
that's very true.
It's crazy on the form table. They're both sitting there with L's. We have the best form in of the last 5 matches. We're the best team right now. With no losses. I mean, everybody else has more than 2 draws. Let's just say that we are. We're the best team on the road, the best team at home.
Yeah,
we're going to be at home where we don't lose for sure, and we barely draw. So this should be a game that we should be able to get. This is a game we'll get and win. Yeah.
And it's all about the response at this point too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can look at this and the Martinelli miss, Saka. I mean, I don't want to kick Saka for that. I have to go back and see that one over again, Gary. I don't know how good. I don't know if he could have put more power on it, if I'm honest, because I feel like he was leaning back and like it was kind of already kind of like when the ball comes to you and you've kind of misread how far it's coming and you're just kind of lofting it in there where it's not like a power header like Gabriella puts in. Excuse me. Sorry, someone else. So I don't know, man. It's infuriating, but at the same time, I think there's chances to respond to kind of. And this is tough coming up. We talked about this. Tony, you weren't there Saturday, but we talked about this on Saturday. You've got Leeds away. That's a tough game. And you got United this weekend. That's going to be another tough game. I mean, Gary said this time and time again, and not to be corny or cliche, but The next game was the toughest game. It's just a fact. Now, the good news is, again, you still have a lead. And Tony brought it up earlier. They've blown leads in the past. But again, I just don't think we're dealing with the same competition that you've seen in previous years. And which I think is going to have to look back. And we talked about the form. And I think a comment said a blip. Yeah, it's a blip. But I can't make any sense of it, right? Like you smashed Portsmouth. The Liverpool game, I can understand that. It's a top 6 game, rivalry game. It's going to be a little bit – that one makes sense. But doing that against Forest, to me, makes no sense. And again, we've talked about the rotation thing, and this is the result of the rotation. But when I look at I remember the game, I didn't get much out of Odegaard. I thought he was kind of a passenger the whole game. Madueke was good on the wings, but he just never had that final product. Yorker has had an opportunity there to put a ball in, and he fluffs the first touch, and it was a weird bounce anyway. But then you had a moment later, I think it was the 36th minute, Gary, if I'm not mistaken. Martinelli hits the ball with the back of his heel, and like if you drew a geometric angle of it, you're like, how did you do that? And Martinelli's probably the most infuriating player because you go with the FA Cup game, he scores 3 goals, right? He's great in Europe, and then we have what happens on Saturday. So like you're looking at him, and it's like, dude, you're doing good, but then you're also not doing good. It's like, yep. I don't know what to say about what I saw Saturday. I was actually very pissed off Saturday. I text my buddy Matt, who's a Buffalo Bills fan. He's an Arsenal fan as well. And we were like, well, that sucked. And he's like, all right, on to the game, 4:30. But we talked about it. Me and him talked about it today. He said he's going to have to mute me because I'm talking too much Broncos stuff. So sorry, Matt, if he's watching. But, like, he made a post about, what if this team does blow this?
Yeah.
Well, he won't watch the Amazon documentary from a few years ago because of how painful that ended. He hasn't watched it. He refuses.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring bad juju into it. And I'm not – for me, I need a response tomorrow. And I know there's not much to play for in the Champions League. I know they're first in the table and probably punch their way through at this point. But, man, you need a good result against a good team that can – because you got big games coming up. And
yep.
Go ahead, Gary. I've done enough rambling.
Yeah. I was going to ask Tony. We need to Spencer said we need to respond.
I would put about the weakest team out there you could.
Well, you don't care about the response.
I care about beating United on the weekend because it has nothing to do with our Champions League fortune. So it's 1 week and throw away. So plenty of guys need rest. Plenty of guys need game time because you're not getting injuries. Guys are getting tired, so they need to get out there and play. So it's a good chance to give them that. It's also a good time to experiment with different formations if you want to. I mean, you can try something different because in the end, the game really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know if we even have enough players to do what you're asking. I mean, we have, Calafiori's out. Hincapie is out. Endowment definitely, are out. Kai Havertz, unless he's going to start, is not going to get, it's not going to lead us. Who else? Mascara probably will. Mascara probably should start if he's healthy enough, but he didn't play in the last game, so chances of him starting are slim. Skelly should definitely start. He's been coming off, off and on the bench, which kind of means. And Nordgaard was not on the bench. I didn't even realize that. So where in the world is he?
How
You
many
know,
minutes does he have?
Norgard.
Damn,
Let's
many
check it out.
minutes.
Norgard. He
This is
has, well, let's see. In the league, he has 33 minutes. So, let's see what he has in. Let's see what he has. In all, he's got 592. So he's played pretty much. I mean, he's played
all
all
the
his
cup
minutes have
games.
been in the cup. So he's gotten a lot of minutes there. So yeah, he's gotten 6 starts. So yeah. So we lost Spencer. Oh, he's back now. All right. So yeah. No, there's not much rotation we can do. And are we going to change what we typically do? Probably not, because we're not doing significant changes. We can't. We switched out 10 players against Club Baruch. We can't do that now. We don't even have enough players to do 10. Unless we're going to start. Salmon or something like that. He'll probably get to travel. I don't know. I don't even know if he traveled. They showed pictures of who traveled. I don't think they showed him, but he's probably gonna. He probably definitely should travel. Hopefully, give us minutes late in the game. So yeah. So Ben here was talking about Nottingham Forest, where low block FC. It's getting so difficult for top sides now to go away and beat them on their own pitch when they dig in. That's a lot of that going on, I think, in the Premier League. Traveling or going away, it's not easy for it's not any team.
Yeah.
You're going to struggle now. Even Wolves going away is not going to, they're fighting tooth and nail to get up the table. But I think it's not going to be easy wherever you go. Leeds has been a menace when it comes to, playing at home. So Everton will find out this weekend, and we'll find out after that as we travel there. So it's gonna be it's gonna be it's it's gonna be tough, but that's what we want. But we got the defense to hold up, so
Yeah.
that's the thing that I'm looking forward to maintaining, because we can maintain our defense. I think we'll be all right. And when that starts to have a problem, then we'll be like as you said, we've had 2 Premier League matches, no shots on target in both of them.
Yeah.
They can't they can't win if they can barely get a shot off and 2 get one on target. So
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, Tony talked about completely swapping the squad tomorrow. When I meant a response, I didn't mean go and put your best 11 out tomorrow. Like, players that need the jump start, like for me, like Yorkeres is starting tomorrow. Period. I don't know if he got a full. I think he got a full 90 on Saturday, or I think he may have got subbed off later. But he's playing at least half the game, if not the second half, just to kind of maybe get a couple goals started for him, right?
That's not an order we can put in anymore.
An order what? That he gets goals?
Yeah.
Well, you got to try.
Yeah, against Inter Milan, who need this game.
Well, let me ask you this though, and I'm doing hypotheticals here when I say this. So what is the fallout for Arsenal if they do sandbag tomorrow? And then
Nothing. They just have to get 1 point.
Hold on. Right, just have to get a point. But let's just say, for example, you lose 3 or 4-1 tomorrow. What's the fallout from didn't do anything against Forest, lose against Inter, and now you get to go play your big, a big derby game against Man United after your form of losing? I'm not saying you go out there and play your best 11, but you need to get them shooting boots going too.
Yeah, bro. The shooting boots aren't going to be probably players that start for us, right?
Yeah,
that's the thing about how we've been like as you see here from Ben, and this is what I would like to see. Eze and Wary should get to play, right? They should.
That's your starters tomorrow. Well, that would make sense.
That doesn't help us. That doesn't help us on the weekend.
Well, it does if Eze puts 2 goals in against Inter Milan. Then he becomes the hot hand.
It does. That actually means nothing, and you know it.
Maybe not. Maybe it
Hot
does.
hand has meant nothing this season. We've had
What do you
players with
think?
hot
How do you
with
think
Hadwin
Martinelli
not
keeps getting
play
starts though? Martinelli keeps getting
because
starts.
you know why? Because there's rules. What are the rules? If
We
you're
were
an Arsenal player,
going on assumptions now.
Defense.
yeah, the rules
Defense
are
before offense.
Yeah, well, that's true.
you have to do your defensive responsibilities if you want to play.
Absolutely, that's expected. Pep
Yeah.
expects
And
it. Slot expects it. Klopp expects it. And Arteta expects it.
yeah, and Eze can't do it. That's why he's sitting.
I don't think that's completely true. I think Eze can do it.
Obviously not. The last time he played, he gave up an ugly goal. We never saw him again.
Oh, we saw him that Saturday.
You know what I mean.
I think you're talking about starting.
11 minutes at the end of a game, not going to do much. Not in the
Yeah.
Premier League with a team who's sitting in a low block all game. Not going to. We've seen it. They just last 15 minutes of a game away, smart to a club low down the table.
Yeah.
Last thing they want to do is give you a goal. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. They're taking yellows. They're pulling you down. They're putting in challenges. It just doesn't play out the way you want. So, like, you can't give him 11 minutes and ask him to do much, especially in a game like that. If we were like, teeing off and had like, near 10 shots on target, then yeah, maybe he'll be able to break through. But 3 shots on target the entire game, he's really not going to be able to make a difference. And we didn't see much from all of the subs that came on. Right, nothing really changed because of the game state, So, yeah. So
Well, I felt like on
I
Saturday the big issue was, and I'll maybe need to talk about Raya here, but sometimes playing out the back, you need to go long. I feel like there was a few moments on Saturday we definitely lost the midfield, trying to break their lines and everything. So, if you got some pacey wingers out there, I don't know, play a couple long balls and see what you got.
We look so much better a few times that we played games where we've done the long balls the entire match. We look a ton better.
Yeah, I always feel like sometimes
especially with all the injuries on your defense. I think that's when you definitely go to the long balls, because a lot of these points we given up is stupid errors because we're playing out from a back. To me, we got the height. You should be winning the aerial goals further down the pitch.
Yeah. Let me say hi to a couple of people who have joined us recently. Arsenal Misfit in the house says, "Hey, all. Hope you're good. Hope you're feeling good and recovering fast there, Stephen."
Mm-hmm.
Got Boy Tendio in the house. He says you'll want a zombie game update. No,
Sure.
thanks.
Never mind now. Not at the moment. How about we save that for the road trip?
All right, we'll save that for another.
Yeah.
Save it for another. Save it for the weekend.
Because it's not fair. Hold on, because honestly, here's why. And obviously, outside of Gary said no, Tom and Sam aren't here to enjoy the update. So let's save that for Saturday.
There you go.
I mean, that's just it. That's fair.
Yeah. Ben says hi, Boy 10. We've got Marshmallow 8641. Thanks for joining the show. Eze doesn't have the work rate yet, and that's Arteta did talk about the fact that he's put in a lot of minutes, and hopefully that's what he's allowing him to do is recover. But I think you can't do that and expect him to get back into any kind of form. That's the thing. I think, at least for me, they got to play. They got to play. Watching United the other day, I'm very worried. They defended well and then hit City on the break using direct football. Yeah, I mean, our defense is better. So if the trick to that whole thing is, we need to put a little pressure on them, right?
I feel like that game said more about City than it did United.
Yeah,
I think it really did. My thought process with this is, United put 10 past Exeter, League One Exeter. sitting in relegation or right outside of it.
Mm.
And then they beat a Newcastle team in the Carabao Cup midweek. I just, United, could they be improved under Carrick? I mean, it's one game, but I'm like, I don't know. I think it says a lot more about City. And when Holland isn't going, like it really just struggles for City.
Yep.
So,
No, they had opportunities to. They could have beaten us first game of the season.
I
They
mean,
missed some chances. So
yeah. And
you
United,
know,
what? Yeah, because Bueno and Kuna did some good stuff. Isn't Kuna out injured currently?
I don't think so. I think he was on the bench. I don't think he started.
Okay, so yeah,
So
they're sitting at fifth on 35 points. Liverpool at 36. Like, I, I think that game said more about City. I mean, City's conceded 21 goals so far this season, which is pretty uncharacteristic for them. They've already lost 5 games, drew 4. I mean,
yep,
United have 9 wins, 8 draws, 5 defeats.
yep.
I don't think United's just immediately turned the corner like that. Will they probably finish up to that top 5, top 4? I believe so, but that game says a lot more about City and their form and how they've played. But we shall see. Well, I mean, does United have me slightly worried? Always they do. But I have a feeling that Arsenal can still bully them on corners. I still think we have a better quality squad than they did. So
Yep. Yep. All right. So Boytan Dio says evening. I wonder if it's evening for everyone in this chat. Maybe it's morning for someone in Asia. Yeah, I don't know if
yeah,
anybody is here from Asia. So I think it's all either late nights or just beginning, or just early evening essentially. For those over here, it's college football playoff national championship day. So if you're I'm not even gonna say their name, a Hurricane fan or a
Okay.
Indiana Hoosiers fan, yeah, you're watching it. I'm not. Eze isn't getting minutes because of what he did against Portsmouth. Yeah, I think he didn't play well there either. I mean, in that game, for sure, and where he looked better than he did. But I kind of
that's
feel
true.
like players they need minutes sometimes. You need to get them out of their funk. You punish them thinking I don't understand punishing them and trying to see if that can help them when you don't practice well enough. So they never can get they never can get they can't show you in practice that they've done better because guess what? You can't practice the way you would like. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You pull them out, but then you want them to get better. It's not going to happen. You just have to deal
Yep.
with what they can and cannot do, and
Ac-
go that route.
Attackers need minutes. That's how you're gonna get your confidence and
Yeah.
get your form back. So sitting
Yeah.
on the bench does you no good. It just
Mm,
pisses you off, and you probably aren't to go out there and try as hard when you know the coach doesn't favor you. I mean, I don't think Arteta cares too much about as they.
yeah, that
If
would be.
so, we would have seen him more.
Yeah. Well, and he asks things of his players, so maybe that's it as well. Yeah, relax, says Ben. It's just one game. People are worried for us against Bayern Munich. Yeah, that's true. That's why, I think we might just go strong tomorrow just because Arteta wants to at least win. I want to try to win every game with the best that he can until players hit the red. Bayern are a much better team than Manchester United. Yeah, but we struggled against Wolves. We struggled against Liverpool. We struggled against Forest. So we play up. We play up to the teams that we need to, but the teams that are struggling, we go down to their level. We're still like an immature team in that sense. You look at our games. We play up to the teams that we're supposed to when they come in and they're hot, and the teams that are not hot, we struggle against. All right, we'll probably play Leeds really good because they're actually playing good football right now. They're not sitting at the bottom of the table just because they're bad. They started off rough and it's maintained. They've surprised everybody, so I think Arteta, will have his team ready there. Same with Villa. Yeah. Yep. No. Yeah. No. Every team we've played a lot of the tougher teams right now outside of City. That's Probably one of the toughest teams we have left on our schedule, regular schedule, anyways. Let's see. But the zombie game is really turning over in wild and wonderful ways. Yeah.
Do you want to get into the penalty that
Yeah.
wasn't the penalty?
Yeah, we'll get into that just a second here. Last up,
I don't want to
from
overshadow
Arsenal.
that or forget talking about
Yeah.
that.
No, I don't think I've talked about it much. So that's actually cool. I was never
Yeah.
worried about buying. We were much better in Champions League because we play more direct than in the. Well, it's not even that we play more; so the other teams
Champions
play
League is
more.
just wide open in general because both teams think
Yeah.
they can have a go at you and they're good enough. That's what that's the reality.
Well, we don't. We don't. We take what the defense gives us. If the other
Yeah.
team wants to open it up, we will play that style. So, Spencer, you wanted to start off with your talking about the
Yeah.
penalty.
I think it's a penalty, man. I think his arm is like, hey, like I don't even know it's a penalty anymore, and I don't need to say that to be cliche. I don't think. I know people say, "Oh, you're grasping at straws," blah blah. No, I think it's a penalty, man. I think if Arsenal's sitting there and that same thing happens, and they called it no penalty like they did against us, I'd be like, "Dang, we got away with one there." Because it just he cradles the arm, and to me, I thought that for sure was going to be a given pen, which would have been a get out of jail free card. But again, Madueke missed a penalty against Portsmouth, so whoever would have taken it would have had to put it in the back of the net. But to me, it was a penalty. Is it clear and obvious error? Because again, that the VAR thing goes into what's a clear and obvious error. I just think it's a penalty. I don't know what you gentlemen think on that.
Go ahead, Tony.
Spencer nails it on the head. I don't think it's clear and obvious. I mean, some of the angles look like he was trying to swing his shoulder into it and shoot the ball. But one thing is, the shot wasn't that far away from him. That always plays into it. And I thought it was questionable. I would have been okay with it either way if it was called or not called. But I don't think it was a major mistake by saying it wasn't a handball.
Yeah. Yep. No, when I saw it, I just figured his teammate bumped him, and that's why his arm looked like it moved towards the ball because they kind of squeezed out Jesus basically to make sure the ball went out, and that's kind of what I kind of felt that it wasn't a big deal. In general, when you're playing a team that doesn't really finish games with clean sheets, you should be able to score a goal, and it shouldn't really need that kind of a opportunity to get it. So, we have to put away our chances, and we didn't. That would have been a bonus, but it wouldn't have been something I would expect. And so, yeah. Like I said, my initial thought was he looked like him and his teammate were just trying to corral that ball out. He might have been trying to turn it back, but if you see where the ball is, it's pretty much gone. It's pretty much almost out before he even moves his hand towards it. In my eyes, so yeah. Now, if we would have got it, I would have taken it, but we may have missed it anyways. So,
but
you never know.
My thought is, if it had gone against us, I wouldn't have been upset because I'd have thought it was a handball, in my opinion. But yeah. I've seen some weird penalties given. Again, we always talk about this, like, oh, we want consistency in officiating. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if that's completely possible sometimes when I watch stuff, just because every circumstance is different, every incident is different. Like, I don't know, but I mean, there's other reasons why Arsenal dropped points on Saturday than a handball penalty, in my opinion. It's just, I just thought it was a penalty, but like I said, I don't know if it's clear and obvious error. So I don't know if, that's a hard.
If we're going by clear and obvious, then it's not.
I'm biased though. I'm biased. I want to look at the penalties.
Yeah. But you know what the thing is? Clear and obvious isn't actually. I wish that were the rules, and that's why they would go to VAR. But we know that's not why they go to VAR. They go to VAR not for clear and obvious rules. They go to correct and re-officiate situations. So I wish that were true, that it was.
Yeah, and again, the reason is the argument, right?
Yeah.
That's the do we really reofficiate all this stuff, right? That becomes
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. As Boy Tendio says, that would have been really a harsh handball award. Yeah, I, I think it wasn't an error. Let's just say that. So I don't think it was an error. One, I don't know if he could have seen it, and two, could you make that decision that he did move?
But
You
it's the
know,
arm in
if
an
he,
unnatural position because it kind of is, in my opinion. And I go back to the Saliba handball against Chelsea a couple of years ago.
you know,
That was
well,
such a big
players put their
ball.
hands in that
Yeah.
situation when they're trying to make sure the ball goes out. So you'll see any defender, their hands would go up to protect it from the next player, so the other player can't come through and stick a leg in and all of that. So I think, is it unnatural? I don't believe it's unnatural. It looks high, but I mean, if he's running, his hands up there anyway, so it's not unnatural in that sense. Uh, Stephen says it's not one game. We had to rely on one of the worst teams in the history of the league to score our goals. We have struggled for 2.5 years now. The only we didn't struggle was when we dropped Arteta ball. You know what? Yeah, of the basically 6 full seasons of Arteta, we only had one season where our attack looked decent and looked good. Right? Otherwise, we've struggled and we've missed we've missed top four because we couldn't score, and we've basically missed winning a league because we couldn't score. So we haven't fixed that yet, and Arteta hasn't either gotten the right people in to meet his system or changed his system to meet the strengths of the players he's got. Kind of felt like he needs to just take what he's got and get the best out of him because defensively he's got everything he needs. So he needs to bend a little bit with his attack and let those guys be able to work within the confines of their level, their strengths and stuff like that. But
Well,
yeah,
if you look at what we got left, 16 games left. You score a goal a game, you're going to end up with 66 goals. Let's say that's enough. Clean sheets the rest of the way through. I mean, we'd all take it, but you would have 3 less goals than last year and 31 less goals than the previous year.
and we spent a lot of money on our attack this season. So
Yeah, which I don't think.
yeah,
I think we'll probably end up somewhere in the range of 75 when it's all said and
yeah,
done, maybe
yeah,
80.
yeah.
Because you're going to have a game where you get somebody and you just put 5 now
Yeah.
past them.
For us, we put 100 mil into our
Yeah.
attack. We should do better in the attack with goals this season than last. So, we
I
should.
think,
I mean,
and again, like best defense in the league, 14 goals given up. No
mhm.
one anywhere close to it except City's on 21. So goal difference, you're at 26, best goal difference in the league. I think Arteta's looking at it like this, and I think he's like, my best offense is the defense. But again, like
That is not
it
true.
only matters if you score
His best
goals.
defense is his offense. Is what
You
you
can't
meant to
win
say, right?
games 4-3 is you got to be defensively sound, but you
No,
have to
we
score
are,
goals.
but our best defense starts from the front, right? And that's where we actually can turn the ball over quickly sometimes and get goals. When
Well,
we don't press, when we don't put in.
let's go talk about Wednesday Chelsea. And I hate to interrupt, but this is going to
Mm,
make a point when I say this. But
mm,
I mean, Moreno missed a setter, right? I mean, it's
mhm,
a good save by Sanchez, and then you had a header missed by Gabriella or
mhm,
Gabrielle. God, sorry.
mhm.
Um, well,
Gabriella.
I had a cat named Gabriella, so whatever. That'd have been 5-1 right there, right? So it's like it's also missed opportunities too.
Oh, being clinical is our issue, and that's why the attack has been a problem for pretty much every year Arteta's been here.
Except for 22-23. 91 goals scored.
Yeah, yeah. But then that gave
and,
that, but that gave. Yeah, go ahead.
and that's all down to the formation because they had Odegaard where he should be at, behind the striker. He's an attacking midfielder. He doesn't need to be playing on the right as a box-to-box midfielder. He doesn't need to be dropping back for defense so much. Kimber's plenty good enough to do that. White's probably not good enough to do that, but you have to put the players in the right positions, and I don't think he does that. He's too defensively minded with the offensive players, because you have players like Gukeres. I mean, we've conceded way less goals when he's on the pitch than when he's off the pitch. So he helps us, and that's where Gary was making a point that our defense starts up top. I think that needs to change some. I mean, I can see wanting to go back and be ready, press them some, but you don't have to press the whole game. You can pick and choose. And I just think the system's too rigid to do as well as we should be. As far as the league is, we should be with 15 to 18 points. Spencer wants to be ahead.
Yeah,
but
but
I
you know
guess
what? That 15, right?
yeah,
To 18, that is an essentially an unbeaten season right now, because the games that we lost, and we definitely should. The goals given up. That Liverpool goal doesn't happen if we're
yeah.
if we play a better game. The Villa game late in the game, once again another opportunity. That's 2 points right there. You know, that those two are there. 2 points, and in the last two games, we should have been able to beat them. That's another 4 points there. So those are 6 points we're missing, and that's gets us that 16-point lead at least right there, without even thinking about the other games where we dropped. But
Yeah. The Sunderland game, finish that
but
out.
so we're not perfect, and we've said we're not going to be perfect. So I think we are where we are supposed to be. As I like to say, when people say we're struggling, this is going to be really bad, I'm like, well, the table don't lie, right? Remember, the table doesn't lie.
It's true.
If the table don't lie, then we're all right. Because we're doing all right, and this is where we want to be. And 7 points is big. This is a big 7 points compared to another season, where 7 points might not look so big. But right now, this season, 7 points is big, because we got to drop points in 3 straight matches, and City has to win, and Villa has to win in 3 straight, and we haven't seen that. We're not seeing that much this season, so
we're not seeing the consistency from City to see that they're going to go on a 16-game
well,
run.
we say City, but from anybody, even ourselves.
True. No, but again, I only think City is your main component right now. I don't think Villa can do it. I don't think Liverpool just dropped at home to Burnley. I mean, Chelsea. What did they do on Saturday? Didn't they picked up a win? Right?
They won 2-0, I think. So
yeah, 2-0. I think it was 3-0 over Brentford.
Yeah. Oh, is it okay? 3-0. Okay. Yeah.
But either way, they won. Again, I just don't think there's anybody. So again, I still think Arsenal's playing against themselves. With that being said, they have to handle their business. Let's hope this is the blip that we're going to see. But I don't think it'll be the last blip. But I don't think
it's not really a blip, is it?
No, it's not. I don't think it is, because it's weird when you break it down. Like I talked about it earlier. You scored 0 against Liverpool. You scored 4 against Portsmouth. You scored 3 against Chelsea and did nothing against Forest. Like, it makes no sense, but it happens, right?
A blip for us is a loss.
Agreed.
In this season, everybody's got blips, and their blips are losses, right? If you look at it, a blip like City and Villa were more, were just as much expected to win their games as we were. We all had blips. They lost. Yeah. We had a blip. We drew. That's been the difference. Is like our bad games usually are right at this point are draws, because the other team doesn't get anything either, right? Other teams blips. Our team struggles. They're losing games. Let me try and catch up with these messages. I don't think we drop points. I think the context this season is that wins are more often than not 2 points gained. Who is an easy game? That is true. No easy games in this league right now. I think everybody's getting a challenge no matter where they sit on the table. Mm-hmm. Wolves helped us get a win, but they've been able to put pressure on other teams that have played them since. The replay I saw, it was clear and obvious. The player moved his hand sideways to keep the ball in play. There was no bump of the arm from the other player until after the foul was committed. Yeah, like I said, when I saw it and what they showed, that's what I saw. I don't. one way or the other, I don't think that's why we lost the game. That we didn't get that penalty call. It's been many a game where we didn't get that call. If you're we're playing a team that doesn't keep clean sheets, and we couldn't put a goal in, regardless of the penalty being missed. So that's what I'm going by our performances more than the referees because the referees are inconsistent and poor anyways. So we need to be better at scoring goals. We should be better at scoring goals. It was still 4-3-3 and 2-2 in 2022-23 when Arteta decided to chase goal difference. Yeah, and then when he got punished for it, then he kind of went the total opposite direction, right? So it's kind of one of those things. He hasn't found a happy median, and he doesn't want to go back there, which is kind of weird because he's improved everything defensively, even with the players that could fit into a 22-23 season. Best press is when Erdogan and Havertz are on the pitch together. That is true. That is true. But Havertz is not. I don't think he's up to ready to do the press for
Yeah.
us. And Erdogan, I don't think he can do the press for us either. Not enough because
Eh,
there's many a game I'm screaming at the television saying "Go press." I don't think
eh,
I don't think he has enough in his legs to do it.
and in that season, we were playing a 4-2-1-3. We weren't playing a 4-3-3.
A little different there. Brandy says Arteta decided to change from Coke to Diet Coke with how we play Jurassic football at times. Yeah, a little bit slow and old fashioned. It looks. It's already over. None of the other teams are built for this version of the league. No, I mean we are probably built best for this because we defend better than everybody else. So even though the other teams sit in a low block and we can't break it down, they ain't getting close to our goal. They're not getting close to our goal. If City go on a 10-game winning streak, it would make things a lot tighter. Big if. Yeah. That's the thing. Everybody's expecting City to come back, and I'm like, you're not expecting your own team to do better because most of the time it's an Arsenal fan saying City will probably go on a run. I think Arsenal has been on, outside of the Villa run, Arsenal's been on a good run of form as well. Not losing, right? We lost to Liverpool and we didn't lose again until Villa, right? You know,
I
so
think you're right on this.
I think that's like 17 games or something like that. So we've been just as we've probably had one of the better the longest runs besides Villa, and Villa's run I think was mostly their home form. So you know,
It was still 12 out of 13 games a month.
yeah.
I mean,
No, I'm
good.
not talking about theirs was bad. I just think that
Yeah.
I think we've been the best team, one of the best teams, if not right, in terms of runs of form in the league, in football in general, much less the league.
So perception would be different if this would have happened. I'm doing a what if. I think probably for me, you pick up the victory against Liverpool. You still beat Portsmouth in the FA Cup. You draw to Chelsea in the League Cup, and then you win on Saturday. I think the perception, because then you're what? 11 points clear and going back to the Emirates tied zeros, whatever, a brand new ball game with Chelsea. You're on in the FA Cup. But I think there's that perception because people have been burned in the past. And I think Arsenal are going to win this league. I'm going to go ahead and say that first and foremost. I do believe that. But I think because we've been burned in the past, I think that the minute maximum is not achieved, it feels like a disappointment, regardless of whether it's true or not, because people are still looking in the context of the big picture, as opposed to the next game, like you talk about all the time. Next game, next game, next game, next game. So I think that probably plays something into it. But you actually bring up a good point that our run. When was our last defeat? Villa, and when was that? I'm trying to remember. Like December 3rd, I think.
The Villa.
It was right after Thanksgiving, I believe.
Yeah, the
It
Villa
was in
loss was
December.
December 6th. So
December 6th. Okay,
yeah,
right. December 6th. So that's almost 40 some days without a defeat. It's pretty good.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you put it in that context, it's pretty good. And I get it. We could sit here all day and absolutely all agree that God had been nice to gain 2 more extra points in one of these last 2 games. But,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was. I think it was 17 games between the Liverpool. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
I
11,
think it
12,
was
13.
18.
15, 16, 17. Yeah, 18 games
Yeah.
without a loss. So if we were to do that again, which means we at least draw to Manchester United. We go another 10 games or whatever it is we are right now. We'll be, I think we'll be all right because everybody else is struggling. When they fail, they fail and they drop all the points. Let's see. So if the manager should have built on the attack after the defense was built, yeah. But as you can see, we don't seem to still have a defense that can maintain. I mean, we brought in two defenders, right, for our back line, and they've both been hurt, right? And our
Yeah.
defender from the previous season is hurt, right? I mean, we've got three players we brought in the last two seasons for our defense on the back line, and they've been on that trainers table a lot.
Yeah.
Got to use the 22-23 blueprint to a better flowing system. Yeah, I think that the way that season ended, I think that's the problem. I'll tell you, I don't want to go back there. He's been, that PTSD you guys talk about, right?
Yeah.
People have been expecting to see to get all these results, and it's just not. That is true. They have not done what they don't have that team. People keep expecting them to do the things that they did with the team that they had. They don't have the Rodri that they had that in those days. They don't have a a KDB in those days, right? They don't
And
have a Silver back in those days. They don't have a Gundogan back in those days. They don't have a lot of players that they had in those days that helped help them go in those runs. Foden isn't doing it. Harlan needs more help, right? Even all the new players they brought in, the Reinders and whatnot, they're not consistent enough. They don't even get in the starting lineup sometimes. Yep, I don't get it anymore. Yeah, yeah. You know what? This is going to be that season. It's going to be a heart attack season. We're going to have
yeah,
those games where we don't score, and we're going to go. Can we score? I've seen people getting spooked by Villa. Emery thinks he's battling for fifth. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's trying to get the top. What's going on? I don't know. This is that type of season, so I think we just have to ride the wave. This wave. Let's see, Misfit Gary. I agree that we didn't win because of the pen call. We were shite the whole game. Our defense is playing so well that I believe we were about to set a record for games with no shots on goal. I think we're at 5, which I believe is the tied. We're tied right now. So another game with no shots on target, and I think we break the record if I recall. So it'd be nice to do that this weekend. It'd be nice to do that at the Etihad. Those are six. Those are big games for us, right? 6 point in March. We are tied with Chelsea for most games of the season with no shots at 5. There you go. Yep, yep. If City didn't have 7 or 8 league titles in the last 10 years, I would be a bit more confident. I don't. Why are you confident now? They are not that team. City is not that team that won 7 or 8 league titles in 10 years. They're not. What What do you see in that team that is even close to what they did with the players that they had? It's not there. They're not consistent enough. Their defense is definitely not that solid.
yeah.
I mean, they've given up
It,
lead late. I mean, they scored what 4 goals and had to come back and win. To get the
it,
win.
is the league almost too balanced now?
So it's what you want. You want to give everybody a chance, right? You want some parity in the league, right? Everybody have an opportunity, and they found a way to do that, right? Play
I
better,
mean,
solid defense, right? That gets you, gets you. Yeah, we had no defensive depth. Yeah, yeah, that too. But I think we had no defensive
Well,
depth, and that's what stung. So
we
that's why
have
I.
it, but
Yeah.
we have it, but it's been hurt.
Our depth now.
Skelly, Skelly could have played more.
If we had the depth that we have now back then, we would have probably even any
yeah.
games that we had dropped points in, we probably wouldn't have happened at all.
You don't have the Southampton game at home,
Yeah.
and you probably avoid that Brighton defeat too. I believe maybe the Brighton defeats the previous year.
And probably Everton as well, because I know we dropped points to Everton.
I'm trying to
We
remember
really,
that
we barely,
season.
we barely beat them in the last number of years too. Boy,
Yeah.
Tim, do you know that City is not cheating anymore in buying players? They are not the same team with the same talent or depth. Yeah, well, they still went and spent, close to 100 mil in January. So Are they cheating or not? Who knows? People said this about Manchester United in the past. Gary, I have traumatic memories until we beat them. No, I get it, but you got to look at what everybody says. The eye test, the eye test, the eye test. Is it sustainable? What? There's nothing sustainable about the way that City is playing right now.
And again, I don't believe
everybody knows our identity, our identity, right? We're gonna defend. You're gonna have to beat one of the best defenses out there. Nobody's been able to do that. You might get one goal past us, but but not two, not barely ever two, right? So, what's that, Tony?
No, I was going to say, like, I don't.
Mm.
I kind of forgot what I was going to say, but I mean, it's not the same City team, is correct. I forgot what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm looking at we lost to Everton 1-0 on February 4th, 2023. Drew at home the following weekend to Brentford.
No, you got me having a look. You got me having.
That's the one where they forgot to draw the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Drew against Liverpool away, not as big of a deal. The 2-2 West Ham game, that was a massive one because you were up 2-0, start the game and blew the lead on that. And it was April 16th and April 21st. Those are the two big ones. You drew against West Ham, and then you drew against Southampton. But that was when the defense kind of fell apart too. So
yeah. If I remember, I do remember that.
And then on top of that, May 14th, you lost. No, the 26th of April, you lost to Man City 4-1. And then you lost on the 14th of May to Brighton, and you lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest on the 20th.
I remember that because we were going into the City match, and it was one of those things where if we won, we didn't have to beat City, but we couldn't drop points in the 3 games prior to that, right? Liverpool, as you said, we had a lead in. West Ham,
2-0 up.
Southampton, they were getting scores from the defensive players then, and then we go into City and get destroyed, right? We had to depend on Tomiyasu, who hadn't played in like a month in that game, right? And we just he made a terrible pass, intercepted goal, but we didn't have to beat City, but we definitely shouldn't have lost to Liverpool at Anfield. We had a lead there.
Yep. And that's when
and West Ham and Southampton, those are games we should have won based on the way we were playing. So, defensively we're not
lost to Forest away.
Yeah, but those 3 draws is what made the difference in my eyes, because we only lost by 2. We didn't lose by a lot, right, in that season. I can't remember what the total was in that season, but
lost 94 points to 88.
Yeah, but those 6 points made a difference. Because who knows how we would have played? Like coming down to that last stretch, right? That last stretch, the Brighton and Forest games, basically, those, I think we just kind of died at that point. But
but that was a different Manchester City team too. I believe they had 94 points. I mean, this team right now, if they win all their games, they can get 91 points. That's what City's at. Yeah. I believe that's accurate because they're at 43 and you add 48 to that. My math could be wrong, but it's 91 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then max we can get is 98.
Yeah.
And we still have a game against each other.
Yeah.
So this 7 point right now could either go, in theory, 4 or 10 or 8. No, 6, whatever. Or stay 7.
It can go 8. It went 7. It went 7 this weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's funny. I was listening to I can't think of his name on TalkSport. Simon Jordan. He's like, well, if things had gone the way you expected it to, Arsenal were only 6 points clear because they would have beaten Forest and said he would have beaten United, but instead, you said he dropped. Villa dropped and Arsenal picked up a point, so they gained a point.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not ideal. I get it, but whatever.
Yeah, it's still 2 points lost in my eyes.
Yeah. Think about it, BX. when Rocky had to go to Russia, he leaned up. Everybody thought he was crazy, dropping weight to go fight a drugged up Russian guy. And what did he do? He just took the punishment, right? Remember that? He just took the punishment, which is what we're kind of doing now, at least the way we're playing. And eventually was
A
able to.
Russian super soldier.
Yeah, we don't think about it. Yeah, and then like it's once that Russian soldier got tired, right? If it bleeds, right?
Yeah.
True.
You cut him, all right? You cut him. He had never been cut before. At some point, I would like to, if I had my dream, at some point, Arteta's attack will just open up, and then everybody will just bow down and go, "What else? We can't do anything now. We can't score, and they're punishing us now." So that's what I'm hoping happens, and maybe he's saving it up. Arteta's got a mad plan, but we'll see. Arsenal Misfit says, yeah, that City team with Aguero, Silva, KDB company were just plain scary. Then you throw in Zapaleta, Jesus, and a host of other players. It just gets depressing thinking about it. Yeah, but we did not have to beat them. That's the thing. That game, that scoreline, 4-1 at home could have been the same game. But if we win the 3 games going in, because we had a good stretch of games going into that, you looked at it, and we're like, if we can go, who cares what we do in that City game? But if we can go into that with wins, I think it would have been 4. It would have been like 6 or 7 wins on the trot at that point. You go into that game no matter what, right? They don't pass us, but we dropped points by the time we played them. We already were behind. So Rocky was already the champ, though. Yeah, you're gonna just play it. You can't bring that up and then like not ask me to respond to it and tell me you're going to change. You keep moving the goalposts on me, my man. Right? You move the goalposts on me.
Yeah, I get the trauma. I get the trauma, but we're not at a freak out point anyway, man. We're just not.
Yeah.
I made a joke to Holly earlier. She's like, "Oh, the Avalanche are playing today," and I'm like, nobody cares. It's Broncos football season.
There's no what. You worry about hockey. You worry about hockey.
Well, I was like, that's game like 55. The Broncos about the AFC title game. No one in Denver cares about the Avs right now. They will care about them in a little bit, but so it's the same thing with we can't really get upset. Like we haven't lost anything yet. Like. Yeah. This team's built different.
Just go by your eyesight.
Yeah, the
only thing that we're struggling to do is score. But guess what? Everybody else is. There's no team out there that's scoring consistently every game.
I wonder if goals are down across the league. I wonder if that's something that people are
if City's at 45 and we're at 40 and everybody else is in the 30s, right? I mean, I don't know what let's see what it was last season.
There's probably an article written about it at this point.
Match week 22. Let's see what it was last week. Match week 22, and we'll see what it was last season. Hit a save here. Yeah. So last season, I mean, Arsenal has been consistent, right? Liverpool was at 50 goals for. Arsenal was 43 in second place, behind 6 points back. So Liverpool was 6 points up with 50 points. We are 50 points, 7 points up. So we're doing better than what Liverpool did last year when they ran away from the league.
Here you go. I just found this from
Sky. They had a game in hand, so they probably won that game.
Season average of open play goals is 1.8 right now. I guess it's down from 2.2 last season and 2.4. So open play goals are going down.
Yeah.
But what about total goals?
I don't know that answer. It's
when we were, and here's a hit when in the 22-23 season, we had 45 goals. We got 40 now, which is more than what City has now, or 40. That's exactly what City has right now. City had 53 that season. So if you look at the table, doesn't lie, right? They were scoring at will. Their defense was 4 goals worse than ours. Right, but they were scoring 8 more goals than us. So, it just played out that way. We hit a draw, and they continued what they were doing. All right, so yeah. No, Arsenal been right there in that 40 goal area are at this point in the season, which gets you in the top two, right? So we are consistent. It just we need to actually take a risk and maybe go for more. I mean, the next season we had 44 goals, which was all right because that's consistent with what we've been doing. But Liverpool and City had 51, right? So I mean, we are sitting at 50 right now at 22. And that City had 51 with a game in hand. So I think we're all right. We are okay. We're if we stay and maintain what we would do, we don't have that run late in the season, right? We'll be good to go.
I mean, City were shut out by Spurs earlier this year. They lost to Brighton 2-1. Obviously drew to Arsenal.
Yeah.
They drew to Monaco in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They lost to Villa 1-0.
Yeah. And if you look at the season, as the season goes on, we don't have a 3 or 4 game stretch like we've had in the past. That we've had that 3 game stretch, and it was the North London derby, Bayern Munich, Chelsea game. If I look at the 3 game stretches now, the worst one we have is probably North London derby away, home to Chelsea, and away to Brighton. When we play City, that's surrounded by Bournemouth and Newcastle. Both of those games are home, and we play away at City. So we really don't have a tough stretch of a 3 game stretch that you go, oof.
Well, think about how lucky we are here at this one. Yeah. You get Wigan in the 4th round of the FA Cup. That's something and that's between Brentford and Tottenham away. Yeah. That's on the 15th of February. You've got Chelsea March 1st, Brighton, and right there. That's a pretty tough stretch right there, 22nd to the 4th.
Where do you get in 22nd?
I've got Spurs February 22nd.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm looking.
Sorry, in February. Yeah. Like I said, that North London derby, Chelsea, Brighton stretch is probably our toughest 3 game stretch that we have outside of when we have our knockout games. Yeah. And our knockout games.
Here's the thing. Also,
I was looking at When I was looking at the knockout games, I think the teams that we might have to play based on our positioning could be Marseille, Barcelona, Juventus, and I'm not sure, and Galatasaray. Yeah. So those are the 4 teams right now, based on where teams sitting right now. That Barcelona and Juventus would be our toughest matches. We right now that's where the top 2 seeds will be playing those 4 teams by us and Bayern. So if we don't have to play Barcelona, that means they're on the other side of the table, which would be nice.
So you've got City on the 18th. You got Newcastle on the 25th of April. Fulham on the 2nd of May. Here's where you could get the benefit of some things, right? May 9th and May 17th, you have West Ham and Burnley respectively, or not respectively, sequentially, whatever, back to back. There's a word for it, and it's drawing my mind. But my point being is you could have West Ham and Burnley probably relegated by that time. And there is a possibility that Burnley one, most likely, you might get a little bit of less resistance in those games. But by that time, if you've played City and gotten a result, whether that's a draw or whatever, you could be.
It could be over by then.
Yeah. It could be. And again, like we're talking about all what ifs here. I mean, we just literally, and again, where I'm going to contradict everything we've just said. You just went to 4 as 17th in the league and got nothing except 1 point. So again, attack the attack needs to reinvigorate itself. Whether that's whatever that is, I don't know. Put your shit away, I guess. Martinelli, please put it away. Be better. Yeah. But we've seen this team also, like, look at the Villa game. They slapped them all up and down.
Yeah.
But again,
that was probably the biggest surprise game of the year because I don't think any of us were expecting a 4-1 win.
Yeah, but that means we have it in us, right? So we got it in us. There's been some absolutely fantastic goals scored this season so far across the league. Yep,
I
there
agree.
has. There has. The last thing we need is City building any chemistry fast enough. Well, that's that is just like if Arsenal could finish their dinner. There are what ifs, man. There are big what ifs. And City's chemistry isn't going to help them get better defensively. Gahey's only one man. Like I mean, we've got a Gabriel and a Saliba. You know, they don't have that. Guardio's out for the season, so like
And there's one thing you're missing here that could happen if Holland goes down with an injury, it's definitely over at that point.
yeah, yeah. And it's
I
not
mean, he's
he's
been
not he's not
relatively
even
healthy.
down now and they're struggling, so
Yeah,
may
I
not
mean,
even
he's been relatively
yeah,
healthy, and
yeah.
I mean, but again, like BX makes the comment, ESPN analysts are saying that we will win the league, but it'll be the worst champions in a very long time.
Which is ridiculous
Who
because
cares?
one,
It's
it's ridiculous because what does
great.
that mean? How do you can't win a championship and say it's the worst?
It's because
You
it's
can't.
Arsenal.
It's,
Because again, like it'll be. I saw someone at Talksport do it. I can't remember his name. I think it was Andy somebody, and he's like, "Well, yeah, this will be the worst champions in a long." And it was with another Arsenal supports. Like, man, don't start that. And it's like they'll just keep moving the fence posts on Arteta and Arsenal, and
yeah,
mostly because it's Arsenal and because of our online discourse is why it's got nothing to do with Arteta. It's more to do with the way our fans act online.
mm, yeah,
Um, the AFTV crowd. Um, but
yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I heard that comment, and so I think it's
I
silly.
mean,
Or
listen,
this,
you know
yeah,
what? If they find a way to win the league, they find a way to win the League Cup, they find a way to win the FA Cup, and they find a way to win the Champions League, what are they going to say? If these are all what ifs, but
it
the
was a
worst.
bad, it was a bad season for football.
Yeah,
Essentially,
yeah,
every team was struggling. Look at Bayern Munich; they got
yeah,
destroyed by Arsenal. Look at Barcelona; they're not struggling. Look at Real Madrid; they just had to get a new manager. It's
yeah.
just a bad season all around. Start of the season, everyone was saying the opening fixtures would end our season. Since then, it's been nothing but seeing as we got the results we needed. Yeah, everything was going to be a struggle. Those first three games were going to be tough on us, right? We got through those. We got smacked in the mouth a little bit by Liverpool, but we continued on, and everybody else started to fall. So beating City in the Cup final, assuming we beat Chelsea, would be great to winning this. Yep, no,
I,
that definitely would be a plus. That definitely would be a good base for us to continue to build on.
I'll put my
Yeah,
neck on the line. That League
yeah,
Cup is over.
yeah, yeah.
Semifinal.
Well, you know what? You say that, but then Newcastle, if they could finish their dinner, you wouldn't be saying that, right? So same
I
thing.
think
Yeah.
I'm very confident.
You're expecting City's defense to get better.
No, no,
They might
what
not.
I'm saying is that semifinal return leg at the Emirates is. I think that Arsenal have already got that. You really think Chelsea's going to come and score? If Arsenal score at least one goal, they're going to score two. Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's over. I even heard people say, "Oh, well, that was a good result for Chelsea." So losing 3-2 at home is a good result for Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't buy that. Sorry.
They're expecting us to struggle. That's the only way this works is if we struggle. Yeah,
Correct.
I don't know about the worst champions in a super long time. I mean, the fact that Leicester won because both that you know two North London teams couldn't get the job done. You know, that would be just as bad. This one, you're saying City, who was the best team in the last 10 years beforehand, struggled. Liverpool, who just went out there and ran away with the league, struggled. Right? You know, I think you can look at it different ways. And anyways, you know what happens the year after? Nobody goes. No, there's no asterisk on the title. There's no
It,
asterisk on that title.
and it all boils it down to the league is more balanced.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's the difference between third place and like 10th right now? It's probably not too many points.
Yeah, I mean they see 36 is fourth place and 26, 25, which is Leeds is 16. So is 11 points between fourth and 16th right now. So it's close, a bad 3 game stretch and you could be sitting the bottom half of the table, right? So what does it say here? We need this thing to form and come together like I hear you on the Voltron thing. We definitely need to activate, as they say, right? Our attackers are just overrated guys. How are they overrated? I don't know. I don't think our attackers are overrated. That would mean people think they're really, really good. And I know we know that they struggle. So I don't know about overrated. Maybe some fans think they are really, really good. I don't think they're really, really good. That's why I want to find a new left wing. That's why we wanted a striker. That's why we wanted a creator. I mean, so that Villa game was a bit of a misleading result. They had a bunch of 19-year-olds on their bench. Uh, yeah, so I don't. We always take our victories and find a way to belittle it. And come on, how many games have we played where you said, "Look at our bench"? How do we even? Nobody said. What did everybody say? You should have just you should have brought in better players and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It's like, for example, I mean, Bo Nix is out this weekend. It's Jarrett Stidham's time. They paid him a lot of money as a backup. Go do the job, man. I mean, you can't sit there and be like, well, we lost because we didn't have Bo Nix. Next man's got to play. Period.
Yeah, that's just called bad, squad development, right? You need to have a better bench. That's what we were told when we had academy kids on our bench, right? So we got them on our bench now. It's because we want to, as opposed to we have to. If we win the title, even better, get a double or a triple, it would be glorious watching the meltdown across the UK. Yeah, they don't want that. They don't want that. City are de facto the worst champions. They cheated. Yeah, well, some will say that. Yeah, blatantly too. Yeah, seems like it, but doesn't seem like anything's happening. Les had 3 excellent players in Vardy, Conte, and Mahrez. They stood out head and shoulders in the league. Yeah, but many people said if Giroud could hit a damn barn door, Arsenal probably could have had a chance to win that league. So with those 3 excellent players that you talked about, Arsenal was one striker who could hit a barn door away from getting a league title, right? We had one of the best creators in the world on our team. We couldn't get the job done, right? So, that's what I remember about that season. Yeah, they had really good players, but I think we made it easy for sure, right? We made it easy for sure.
His form went out the window, and
what was it 8-10 game stretch of no goal or something like that? In the courts versus the league for a decade now.
I think it was 12 games, Gary.
Yeah. Oh, even worse, easily worse champions. I don't care what they say. We got it. If we were to win, it don't matter how bad the league was. I don't care.
I mean, Leicester finished with 81. We'll finish.
Oh, you mean overrated by the fans? Yeah, I don't think. I think all of our attackers are held back by Arteta. So to say that they're, for any fan to say they're really, really good, I think is hard because they don't even get the chance to show what they can do. So I don't know. We don't know I don't think we know what the levels are of our attackers because I don't think they ever get to show it.
Well, the Arteta out crowd, if I can guess, whatever.
I don't think that's who's overrating our attack.
No. What I'm about to say is if Arsenal win this title, they'll be like, well, yeah, but the league was bad. They'll find just sort of asterisk to just move the goalpost any further. Yeah. And you're just gonna see that it's just a tiring argument.
Like in the last 3 seasons, they would have said we just needed to get the win. Well, a 1-point lead over City would have done the job, right? Now, if we win by 1, they're gonna say, well, you had a 7-point lead with 16 games to go. How did you let them back in? But we won. But you let them back in. Well, okay, I don't get it. Yeah. If the attack wasn't sputtering, we'd look the part of the dominant team for sure. That is a problem. We can't get the attack. Yeah. I've set up benches has been awful many, many times. No, I know, but you know what? The problem is you're using that as an excuse for when we played Villa, and other teams told us we couldn't make that excuse. The same fans that are saying, "Oh, but Villa didn't have a bench," are the same fans saying Arteta should have had a better squad. Edu should have probably had a better squad when we played these teams back then, right?
Amazing how that argument works out, though.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I look at it. I mean, you're supposed to have a better squad. That's the part of what you do. So, if you don't, then that's on you. That's not on the other team. They don't pick your players for you. we have hit the 90-minute mark. And I'm going to have to go because one over here, we had a long weekend and we need to get ready. At least I do. Get ready to get back into this workflow thing tomorrow. Get ready to
Well,
exercise in the morning, get my day started, and get back into the groove. And so I want to say, I want to get out of here, get some rest and all of that. So, Spencer, talk to the people.
yeah, thanks for reminding me. I got to go to work in the morning.
Mhm.
I already knew it wasn't going to be a shock. Oh, it's supposed to be at work. But no, it's yeah. So tomorrow was 3 p.m. for Arsenal, I believe.
Mm,
Um,
that is
big one
correct.
on Sunday. Just get it right. I mean, this team's talented enough. I'm not concerned. I was more annoyed, like I said on Saturday, than I was anything else. Angry, actually. Um, but yeah, and then we'll see what happens next Monday. I know Tony likes the Patriots, and I like the Broncos.
One of us will be happy, one of us isn't.
Yep. I mean, you know, it was a good game Saturday night, and then it was just the whole like roller coaster of emotions of winning the game, and then your starting quarterback has broken his ankle, so just
I
the
thought they were joking and when they said that in one of the
yeah,
chats I was in. They're like, they won and they're like, Bo Nix is out. And I was like, oh, that's me. Why are you saying it? That's mean.
it's
And
true.
then you check, you're like, yeah, no, he's out. And you're like, oh, wow.
Well, I can tell you this much: I was very shocked when I heard the news. I sat there and listened to a lot of Denver stuff. In fact, like I said, I had my buddy Matt said he was going to mute me on socials because I've been talking too much about the Broncos, and he's a Bills fan. So
Mm.
I understand it. I'm not mad at him over it. I mean, he's entitled to do that. But uh, yeah, I mean, we're riding with Stiddy, and you know, defense is good enough. I think the Broncos have a good enough team to beat the Patriots next week. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl, though. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, you
So
know
He,
what? Defense
can't,
travels.
can't,
You can win it with a good defense. If your defense can stand on their head for two
yeah.
games and actually show up, yeah. And I mean show up. You can't give up 30 points and say you had a good defense no matter what the other team did.
Well,
Sorry.
there's
Can't
Jarrett
say it.
Stidham jersey, right? There it is. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
can see that at all.
no.
It's a little bit there. It's not
Oh,
it's getting a
it
little
was
weird
nothing
out.
but glare.
Yeah.
All
Nothing but
sold out
glare.
right now.
Yeah, you gotta get behind your man, all right? You gotta get behind your
Yeah,
man.
well, it doesn't matter. No one can see it. But
Yeah.
basically, all the jerseys except 3XL and 5XL are sold out for Stiddy. So people are backing him, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, well, yeah, all he needs to do is go 2-0. That's it. I'm not asking much.
I mean, Nick Foles did it. Mark Hostetler did it, right? Mark Hostetler did it with the Giants. Nick
Yeah.
Foles did it with the Eagles. Doug Williams did it with the Redskins. At that time, they were called the Redskins. And then there's one other guy that's done it. Tom Brady, his first Super Bowl championship. He was the backup. Bledsoe won the divisional round game, if you remember.
Yeah, just gonna go 2-0.
Yep.
All right. So for those who cares, that team from Miami is losing by 10 right now.
Yeah,
Late
Indiana's going to win this
late in
game.
the second half. So this game doesn't look like it's gonna go the way of Miami. Miami's gonna be happy. They're actually playing at home too. So that's even worse.
But they were playing at home and they were 7.5 point underdogs.
Well, yeah, they are playing the number one team who hasn't lost a game this season, right? So yeah, that's gonna happen. So Tony, talk to the people.
Um, we sit here, we talk about sports and spend all the energy on it and stuff, but there's still a lot more important things in life. That's why Gary's moved the show to Tuesday a couple of times because family obligations, want to spend more time with his daughter. Like Sunday, me and Spencer glad our teams will get to AFC title. Only one can come out.
Yep.
And that's what it boils down to. Only 1 out of 32 NFL teams can win. 1 out of 20 Premier League teams can win. So it's, some people want to ride the highs and lows, and I just kind of want to stay in the middle and not get too upset about it because then it's just entertainment and So
I hear you, but I want to ride the highs. I do want to ride the highs.
Yeah,
so.
I agree with Gary. I do like to ride the highs, but there is a perspective things on everything too. Like it's kind of last week. He's not here to listen to it, but AFC proctologist talked about what's the standards for NFL games. What am I supposed to do as a Broncos fan? Your franchise quarterback wins the game. Only quarterback in NFL history after year 3 to have 7,500 yards passing and I think 750 yards rushing. 25 wins in 2 years, and he gets himself hurt. How often do you get a home playoff game for the AFC title game? The last time it happened was 10 years ago. So, like, you can't pick when freak accidents happen. So when I look at Arsenal, it's like it's easy to sit there and look at the badge and be like, yeah, it's Arsenal. You should win. But it's sometimes just not the reality. Like, the other team has a say. Forest had a say on Saturday. They frustrated us, and we didn't get it done. They're not just going to go, oh, it's Arsenal. Let me just lay down for you, baby. That doesn't happen. I wish that would happen, but it doesn't. So you just kind of have to deal with what you got. It's the next man up mentality. Same thing with the players on the bench. Those 19-year-olds, obviously Emery had to put them on the bench. They should play with them and put them out there and let them do their thing. So, again, like Tony's right. Enjoy the highs, enjoy the lows, stay in the middle. It's entertainment. Don't take it too seriously. Don't lose friendships over stuff. I mean, are you going to lose friendships over your positions on Arsenal? I mean, that's stupid. But yeah, anyway, enjoy the rest of your week. It's going to probably snow here next weekend, so Snowmageddon.
It will snow this weekend for us, right? So it was
Yeah.
It was holiday weekend. It wasn't going out anyways, and then it snowed anyways, so it made it easy to just stay in. Everybody, thank you again for joining us. Yes, Arsenal. I don't know. We don't really have a big game tomorrow, but we have a game tomorrow that we want to try to win. See who they put out there. See who hopefully they rest some of our good players. Let them prepare for the weekend.
Yep.
And let some of our players that need a good run get a good run. Gyökeres can come off the bench and get some minutes. That would be nice, especially if the game's going the way we want. But it'd be nice to see Eze and Wary go out there and, if they can perform, if Eze can be better than what he was against Portsmouth and where he does what he does, we'll be all right. So, I think sometimes we play to our talent, our opponents anyways, and we don't seem to overachieve, when we play. We need to get the best, get more out of our players than not, and we're not doing that. So, everybody, thank you again for joining. Hit the button, subscribe, like. We'll be back next Monday. Yeah, we'll be back next Monday. Then I have some holidays coming up, so it'll be a little bit of traveling for me. So I might miss a Monday and push it out to a Tuesday because I'll be traveling. But I'll let you know. Thank you again. Hit the button, and we are out.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.